Hasn't gone through puberty yet. The murders. Obviously, it's the murders.
It's not small, it's scared.
Hello, friends. My name is Fred. What's yours?
I like you.
No, you don't. You're like a brother to me. Norville, your joke worked, you genius. Keep making me laugh.
I wasn't joking. Your face is why I get up in the morning.
I think I'm fine. Norville helped me get over them in the last episode.
You know, after watching the first episode and some of the second episode of Velma, and after watching segments of She-Hulk and not even finishing it, I really found myself confused. Like, honestly sitting here and thinking, what is happening with modern TV shows? Like, seriously, what is going on? Because the amount of times that studios have put forth absolute trash, and it's been evident that it's not doing well, they still keep doing the same thing. And I really wanted to sit down and think about it. What is there to gain from ticking off the customers, the fan base, from picking up an IP and completely changing the lore, for spending almost $1 billion on something that you took the IP for and claimed you were going to follow the source material for, only to completely change it and then be all aghast when it doesn't do well while you were insulting the fans. People from many different backgrounds and from each gender uniting in many aspects to say how much they don't like something because you've done this with it, and you somehow making it about one sect of people being racist. I don't get it. So, being the INFP that I am, I like analyzing things and thinking, because maybe there has to be some kind of logic to this. And this is what I came up with, because we forget that studios are businesses. I know it sounds crazy because it seems as though when studios greenlight TV shows like Velma, it's clear that there's either nepotism in it, or there is a money laundering scheme, or they're really just disconnected from society and they're doing what is in their best interest to make a quick buck. These studios are in the industry for one purpose only. It's not because they care about people of color. It's not because they care about genders or women. It's because they care about money. That is the only thing they care about. I can guarantee you that if Asian people decide to drop out altogether and we're no longer a part of the supporting society for American entertainment, oh, they would drop them so quick. When you start messing with money, you really see where people's loyalties lie. But studios are constantly looking for new ways to reach audiences and increase profits. That is the only reason they do so. So when it comes to creating and airing television shows or movies, studios have to make a lot of decisions about what they think is going to be popular and what will make them the most money. Which leads us to the next thing. Shows like Velma.
Now allow me to transport you into the horrifying nightmare that is modern entertainment.
You nasty, greasy bitch.
They take a lovable IP, and I guess they're trying their hand at satire, if that's what you can call it. I wouldn't call it that. Maybe it's a parody. Everything you try to make excuses for the show for, it seems to fall flat. There is no logical reason why the show was made, except for nepotism or to launder money. Let's make a Scooby-Doo spinoff with no Scooby-Doo, right? But like I said, it was probably a good idea they did that, because if Scooby-Doo had been in the show, like the actual dog, he might not have been a dog anymore. He might have been a cat. He might have been a white cat that needed to check its privilege. And the thing that studios don't understand is that people don't care about diversity. They want good characters. Your character should matter before the color of your skin. That's what people fought for in times gone by. So people will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
But now, studios, actors, celebrities are making it all about what color you are first. And dare I say it, they're using diversity and inclusion to the detriment of minorities, ironically. Which makes me wonder, really, sitting here and thinking and pondering, if somebody who wasn't actually prejudiced came up with this thing to weaponize diversity. Because that's exactly what's happening. And the studios see that, but they see it in a completely different way. The way they perceive it is they can create content that represents a wide range of people and cultures. They like this tossed salad of diversity, not because they care about people, but because they know if they include everyone, damn the story, well, more eyes will be on it. A lot of studios believe that having a diverse cast and crew, they can attract a wider audience and thus increase the profits.
The Little Mermaid is white, not black.
Really, people? We're doing this again? Huh?
She looks nothing like they both have the tail, huh? They both have the red. She looks nothing like her. How do I even know that she's a mermaid? Once again, a bunch of internet racists are upset that a fictional character is being played by a black person. And honestly, I don't know what the big deal is.
And sometimes they will change the lore of a show or a movie for that reason, and they may focus more on the skin color of certain characters. And you can't completely blame the studios because people have done that to themselves. When people on TikTok and on YouTube and every platform you can think of that has been in existence or is still in existence are making content, and that is at the forefront for you pages, and it is mainly about their gender or their ethnicity, the studios are going to see that and think that's what my generation cares about. That's what the majority of people care about. Because the people who don't have lives and are socially inept, they're the ones that are loudest. They're the ones that have nothing else better to do than to make those types of content. Because that's what their whole personality is wrapped up in, because they don't go outside, they don't actually know how the real world works. And so the studios see this.
Controversial opinion, but if you have a token white and you're hanging out with your friend group of color, you need to ask permission from everybody in the group to bring your white friend. Like, don't just bring them. Ask for explicit permission from everyone, because just because you're comfortable with them doesn't mean that everybody's comfortable with them. I might not be in the mood to deal with white shenanigans that day. That's all I'm saying. And another thing, it feeds into their ego. Like, don't let them think they're a good white person.
And think, well, that's what they want. Give it to them. Clearly, lots of people are watching this. And YouTube influencers will see this and will react to it. People will respond to it, so it trends and gets even more views. And so whatever is popular and getting the most eyes is what the studios are seeing. They don't even see the content. They just see, oh, well, what are these numbers? What is the numbers about? Diversity, 62 genders. All right, cool. Whatever people are talking about, whatever issues they're talking about that they're passionate about and people are watching it, it's getting views. Make more of that. Why focus on a good story when people are more concerned about who you fuck or what's between your legs? Am I right? And what happens when they no longer have to worry about the source material or the story? Simple. It costs less. Why hire really, really good writers that are great with their craft, that can craft together a good story? Why have to do all that work to make sure that the universe is cohesive when you could just hire your sister's freaking plant or her cousin's fuck buddy who always wanted to be a writer and has never written anything else in their life except for a poem about why they want to end poverty but they're not willing to feed the homeless? Why not? It's way cheaper. So we take the thing I said before about all the people on the platforms talking about this, it trending, and the studio seeing that. We take the cheapness, because if you just have to worry about inclusivity and people caring about what color skin character they're seeing on the screen, and then to top it all off, we wonder what is going to draw people in. We got skin.
Those who disagree with this are racist, and as I said before, I think this explanation is beyond lazy. And the reason for that is because, first of all, it's not just white people or non-black people who disagree with this race swapping that Hollywood keeps doing. There are also a lot of black people who are very frustrated and irritated by the fact that Hollywood keeps race swapping. So to just brand everyone who disagrees with this decision as racist and to assume that all of them are white is very ignorant, in my opinion.
People hate white men now? Ooh, crucify them. Freaking witch trials, am I right? Let's do that. Let's keep them thinking that we have power over them, so they can always feel victimized and upset and want to see more of the shit that we're giving them. But how do we draw everybody else in? I know, let's take a popular IP that's gonna get some eyes. Hey everyone, wanna see a prequel story of The Rings? You guys loved The Lord of the Rings, right? You wanna see a spinoff of Scooby-Doo? You guys loved all those others in the past, right? Wanna see some shows that tie to the MCU that you have to watch or you're not gonna get what the hell is going on in the next movie? We've got you. But it's a bait and switch, because then when you watch these shows, you realize how they are only those shows in name. It's like taking a random pair of shoes that someone bought from Payless for $10 that's strung up on a light pole. You know when you go through those cities and you see shoes hanging on the freaking telephone wires for some reason? I don't know why that's a thing. But you decide to cut those bad boys off of there and spank the Nike thing on them. They're not actually Nikes, but who cares? It says Nike on the shoe. Guys, look what we made. We made freaking Nikes, man, right? freaking sole is falling off through the front. Stick your toes through the freaking flip-flop shoe. It's not actually a flip-flop, but now functions as one. And people are looking at you like, the what? But dare you say anything? And the studios are so quick to raise their pitchforks and give them to people they know are going to be triggered easily. Pawns, as we call them. And then they tell those people, look, those people hate you because they don't like our Nike shoe. Our Nike shoe represents our saviorism. So attack them because they're being racist. When the customers have said nothing about race whatsoever. It's giving dictatorship. And I love how these studios and these journalists also come together to say it's white men that are the problem. As if us women are not over here with our mouths open saying, hey, we don't like this. We don't want to spend our money on this. As if every single ethnicity that's united, shouting from the mountaintops and also declaring from their buttholes that they don't like something don't exist. What, their voices don't matter? Our voices don't matter? Come on, studios. They know what they're doing. And so we get greenlit shows like Velma.
Yes, Fred Jones, heir to the Jones Gentleman's Accessories fortune, was arrested last night for murder.
Fred's a rich white guy with a tiny dong. He did it.
While other really good shows are canceled. But in so doing, the cost of production remains low. They don't care about your squawking and gawking and gawk. They care about money. They don't care about the longevity of the IP. They just want to milk it till it's all bones. And then they want to smash the bones and pour out the marrow. Make it into a smoothie and gawk that too. And when there's nothing left to deep throat, like a plague of locusts, they go on to the next IP. It's the quickest way to make money and the most cost effective. Although I can't say that for Rings of Power. You can check out my videos here where I actually do talk about that separately. But that cost production thing is probably the reason why a lot of the shows that you actually like are being canceled and the ones that are renewed are not. Because the ones that you like actually take time to produce. It takes passion, it takes skill, it takes good actors, it takes people who actually care. It takes people who went to school for their craft and excelled and practiced until they got to the top, so they cost a little bit more. It takes writers who knows what they're doing. And the studios can't have that because you know why? Why would they pay a little bit more to have something that can help them reap the benefits even more? I don't know who's running things, but it kind of feels like those call centers. Also, shows that have been on the air for a while or have been streaming for a while become more expensive to produce. And the newer shows are much cheaper. Like I said, studios don't give a damn about you, all they care about is money. And they use the diversity pawns to shield themselves. So if you do anything to criticize them, because how dare you do that, right? It's your money though, that they want. They can just take a black person or an Asian person and shove them in front of them and say, oh my God, you don't like our show because these two beautiful ethnic women here, you're racist against them. How dare you? And every smart, mature person with a working brain can see what they're doing. And it's disgusting. I know it seems shocking, but the entertainment industry is doing what it has always done for many years. It goes with a trend. If it's trendy to hate on black people, they will hate on black people. If it's trendy to hate on white people, they will do it. If it's trendy to hate on Mexicans, they will do it. Whatever region or era in society and civilization, when it was trendy to do something and their money was directly affected by it, they would throw them all the way under the bus. You know, like the situation with the relationship between the entertainment industry in the USA and China and what they're doing with people who are dark-skinned, but no one wants to acknowledge it. Okay then. There's also a weird effect that happens. When we're outraged about something, we make fun of it. It brings us together. It's fun to poke fun at stuff. It's stressful, but in many ways it can be entertaining, a way to vent our frustration. And while it might not be a long-term success for TV shows, they do get the trend and the very abrupt bloom of popularity and virility while lots of people are watching it. And all the studios see are numbers. They don't care if you're hating it. All they know is that people are watching it because people want to know, is it really as bad as they say? People love bad movies. They love to hate on shit. They like to be outraged. And so they watch the shows that they hate. We all do. Honestly, the main reason I do it, two reasons. Content creators do it, and their two reasons are curiosity on both their part and that of their audience, wanting to see their reaction. And of course, if they get something out of it for their troubles. Money only seems fair if we have subscriptions to these awful streaming platforms that we make a little something back shitting on them, am I right? While also spreading the word that we don't want this. We don't like this. That's what's always been done since humans could speak to each other, and they were probably doing it well before then with their urine markings. And if they've seen that this works, where they can make a quick buck, they can get ad revenue churning for a while, and people will tune in to watch, they will continue doing it until it is driven into the ground. They won't end a story. Movies don't know how to stop having sequels anymore. It's all about money. And I think when it starts to become that, that's where art goes to die. That's where we start to get stuff like this. It does catch up after a while, and we're in that era now where we're seeing the effects of that. The studios are trying to make the best financial decision for themselves, which sometimes might not align with the opinions of the fans. And while it's good to watch these things, I think it's best to vicariously watch it through other people who want to bite the bullet. But share with your friends if you're gonna do it. Seriously, have watch parties where there's like 9 different people watching it at one person's house. Because the only thing these studios understand is money. And the minute you start taking that away, that is the only way you can communicate to them what you like and what you don't like and what you want to see more of. What I really love to do is get back into analyzing characters and situations in movies. Like I'm watching Yellowstone, or other movies or shows that I watched, or anime, where I just want to talk about the characters and pick them apart. But it is so hard to find really good shows nowadays. So the only place that I have to go to is anime. Anime has been faithful to me. Anime has stood the test of time. Knock on wood and plastic and metal at the same time. Because goddamn, it's starting to go over there as well. Do you guys think I'm wrong? Again, this is my theory and just the way I know that studios work. I also know because I went to film school and that's what my teacher said. Not really pertaining to the entertainment industry in terms of like movies and shows and IPs, but 2 of my teachers from different classes said that yeah, it's true, your degree really doesn't mean anything. It's who you know. Most of the videographer gigs that I got from having connections. And there are people that have gone to school and done more than I have, and they're working at McDonald's. Not that I'm trying to shame anyone who's working at McDonald's, but big corporations and studios do not actually care about you. They don't care about us, and apparently, they don't seem to be caring about our money. So I think we need to show them just how much our money does make a difference. And it gets a little bit hard to do that when they have streaming platforms. You know why? It's a genius idea. Yes, it's because even if you don't like something, what are the chances you're going to delete your streaming platform when there are other things on the streaming platform that you do want to stay for? Interesting to think about. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. This has been Ultiori. You ask, we answer.